forms of, so My Media magazine develops and challenges forms and conventions of real media products by, I believe, sort of imitating them and sort of using them in a way which is similar to mine. So for my front cover, I believe it's very similar in the way that the masthead stretches along from one side of the page to the other. The face is about the medium shot and is about the same sort of position on the page, with the cover lines to the right and left of the page, right and left of his head. The kickers at the bottom, roughly the same sort of area, where the cover lines are on the professional made magazine front cover to the right. And as you can see, there is a difference in the way that the barcode for this magazine is up by the right hand side of the page, brought in line with his eyes. And on my magazine, the price and barcode is on the right bottom hand side of the page. It's not a big difference, but it's something that I chose a bit of a variety with to make it not exactly the same. Also, we have a quote right at the top of the page, which is again sort of imitated from professional magazine. And another thing missing is the references to other bands, which is not on mine. But then again, I need to sort of challenge and experiment with not using the same thing that every other magazine does. Adding more onto that, there are a lot of things about the way both artists on the page are sort of acting. It's meant to be a sort of indie genre magazine, the way that one is when one is indie means they are a person of their own. They like to sort of stand out in this way. They're both giving the reader a glare in the way that most people wouldn't look at you like that in the street walking through. It's kind of a look that shows that they're serious, and they're serious about their profession, and they're wanting to show off more in their career, I believe. Also with the eye flow, it's mainly dead at us, the eye flow. So sort of the same sort of facial structure in the way they're both staying dead in the center, although this one maybe is a bit more to his on an angle, his face, but it's not a big difference in the way that they're both giving off the same sort of feeling. They also show, I'd say, quite a lot of confidence, and that is good in this industry. On my contents page, one can see that I've looked at the NME contents page and sort of imitated the sort of features. On the left-hand side of the page, we have the text, mostly where the page numbers and the names of the different sections of the magazines are. As on here, they are on the right. Usually there will be one or two images like this, a medium shot or a long shot. But in this case, we have 4 different photographs, 4 different shots, and sort of 2, in a way, blurbs, because to give the reader a feel of what the article, what the different articles contain. And over here we have the editor's note, which is quite normal to see on a contents page or any sort of magazine page. Also, to be honest, there's not as much to say as about the front cover, because all these faces are in the same sort of edited the same sort of way, quite cartoony, not really, and more like sort of very defined in their facial tones and the way that they're all showing emotion one way or another, which is good because it gives the reader an indication of what the actual article will be about, whether it's sad, happy, or serious. So therefore, I believe this challenges the products and the media products developing in a way that it has a clear sort of sign of it's a contents page and the music magazine contents page, and that they want to they want to increase it. People think that the contents page is not a huge deal when customers buy their magazine, but the eye flow of this, there is a way that they do have ways of thinking about it, with the image there, the text there, more text here with the sort of page numbers, and I've replicated that so that my magazine would challenge today's media. Also, talking about things that I've added to make it clear that they're from the same magazine are the frontal logo, which is on the headline. It's the masthead on my front cover. So it's not actually that clear. You get the two separate pages and you can't tell that they're from the same magazine without the same logo on them. I've also made sure all these things are in line to increase the look of it being professional with the ruler. And the same with the pictures, they have to all be symmetrical in some sort of way, as well as with the text, and it can't be stretched too much because it will look childish when printed out and actually looked in real life. So this is a typical example of a music magazine double-page spread, in the way that the masthead is almost always at the top. Well, that's not enough. It's always the biggest font, where it has a quote under it. The leading text and an article. The article, a double-page spread, usually is quite a handful to read, but there's a reason in the way that part of the magazine is based on one artist. As you can see here, on this specific double-page spread, the text is at the bottom in the left-hand corner. The masthead is stretched from the top of the page, from the left-hand side of the first page to the right-hand side of the second page, and the artist has sort of been edited over the title it puts more attention on the actual artist than the title, which is good for the magazine in a way that it'll show more the artist. And it has the page numbers on the bottom, which is also needed. So this is my actual double-page spread, which is similar in the way that the model is on the right-hand side of the page, with a bit of his body going on to the left-hand side. The article is around the same sort of size, around 3 rows, with pull quotes throughout, and it's similar because that's what it's like. That's what a normal double-page spread text is like. I've used a cookie cutter to make the page edge seem more professional in the way that this is what it would look like in an actual magazine and not just out of just printed out of a printer. I've made sure the frontal logo is on the actual page just to make sure the reader knows that it's coming from the same magazine, because there can be some confusion there. The title is probably the biggest thing apart from the image. So the iFlow goes from the image, the title, then wanting to go read the text because looking at the title. I made a shape and put the title in to give the title more of a sort of important feeling to it. And you can see the pull quote, main pull quote is above his head, and that's probably the most profound.